It's going to be an interesting day. You can see the white caps in the background, which means it's going to be a rough one. Going to be interesting to see how our captains fare as they step in the ring and try and do battle with the inlet. But welcome back, crew, to Boats versus Haulover, where Man and Machine take on Mother Nature down here at Haulover Inlet in beautiful Miami, Florida. And here in the first round, the boats are going to toss a Boston Whaler in the ring to see if they can go ahead and get on the board early and try and get an early advantage over Haulover Inlet. But here we go, round one, ring the bell. Our crew's working their way out, and as we already saw, it is a little bit of a rough day. Right now, Cap appears to be, what in the world? Did our guy just throw that can right into the ocean? He knows the cameras are recording down here as well. That was a pretty stupid move. Now, while this boat appears to be doing okay as they go out battling the inlet, no way in the world I can give a boat a win on that one. Unfortunately, this goes right up there with many of those other automatic L's that we hand out, and this crew's going to take a loss in the first round. That is not a good start for the boats, but here we go into the second round where the boats are going to toss a CV into the ring and try and see if they can squeeze their way back onto the board. The CVs are notorious haulover killers, and let's see if this crew does exactly that. They've got the boat up on plane. It's a rough day. Going to be interesting to see if Captain can maintain the speed as he works his way out. Right now they look pretty solid. That bow's riding high, starting to hit some waves right here. You can tell the ladies in back are starting to get wet as spray comes over the side of the boat. One of the ladies wisely moves to the center of the vessel, which is going to be the driest spot right behind the helm. But this crew looks really solid, even on a rough day, just lays into it, winds up taking a win for the boats here in the second round. And that's going to bring us to the third round of our contest. And here in the third round, the boats are going to toss a Four Winds yacht in the ring to see if it can go ahead and continue the momentum and keep the boats on the board. But man, this is not good. No way on a day like today anybody should be riding in the bow of any vessel, including a yacht this size. Our girl right here, you can tell, is already curling up into the window because she's taking spray, getting wet, and is not in a comfortable spot. But the crew continues to work their way out, but they're going to hit some of the bigger rollers now as they start to get their way right outside the mouth of Haulover. And here you can see she's hanging on now. They're hitting some monster waves here outside. Oh my God. She does not know how lucky she is. She winds up sliding off. Fortunately, the rail is there and in the way and winds up catching her. She loses her phone, which means Haulover claims another one. But I'll tell you what, she got super lucky on that all Haulover claimed was the phone. That is one wild ride she's definitely not going to forget. Now, who's really at fault in this one? Let me know in the comments below. The lady, whether she insisted to be up there or not, or Captain for letting her be up there, because I can't imagine any good reason why he would say, okay, yeah, go up, it's going to be fine, when you can see the white caps offshore before you even leave Haulover Inlet. There's a lot of poor decisions that went into this one, and unfortunately, those poor decisions are going to lead to a loss for the boats in this round. But I promise you right now, this crew's more than happy to take the L in this situation with it ending the way that it did, and I promise our girl's never riding in the bow again as they come out of Haulover Inlet. Now this is going to bring us to the fourth round of our contest. Haulover now has a 2-to-1 edge, which means the boats are on tilt right now as they have to pull a win out in this round to keep them alive. And here in the fourth round, they're going to toss a Grady White in the ring, and let's see how they fare. Man, he almost gets some air off that first wave he winds up hitting right there as he enters the mouth of Haulover. They're keeping this boat moving, keeping the bow high. They look really solid for as rough of a day as this is. Cap gives the thumbs up to the camera as he winds up rolling by and looks super solid, leaning into the throttle still, just letting this boat do its thing, and surprisingly, really does a pretty good job on this one, is going to wind up taking a win for the boats. And that's going to bring us back to a 2-to-2 tie as we move into the fifth and final round of our contest. And here in the fifth round, the boats, well, they're going to toss a pontoon in the ring, which is not a good idea, especially on a rough day. But what's even a poorer idea is coming out like this. Nobody should be hanging off the front of the boat while the boat is in operation. I don't care if you're on a lake, a river, and definitely not coming out Haulover Inlet, where in all likelihood this low freeboard vessel is going to wind up stuffing at some point, especially on a rough day like today. Now here you can see it's okay where they're sitting right now as they're still in the channel, but it's still pretty rolly, and this is definitely not something I recommend whatsoever. But they start to make their way out the mouth. Now, the good news on this one, I will admit, is they do eventually change their course of action in their plan. Things start to get a little rougher as they get out, and she does eventually wind up inside the pontoon, as we'll see here in just a few moments. But unfortunately in this situation, again, no way I can give a win to the boats coming out of Haulover like that, even though they look pretty solid doing so, especially for a pontoon on as rough of a day as today is. But unfortunately, again, as I mentioned, I'm going to give them the loss for doing that, which means Haulover's going to take the victory in this episode. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Boats vs. Haulover. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of amazing things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, does some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we got the Miami Boat Ramps channel that focuses on all the hilarity that happens at the boat ramps in South Florida. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.